So are you feeling stuck in your life? Are you feeling stuck in your career? Are you feeling stuck in your love life? Are you struggling with addictions? Or maybe you are a young person who feels like you're wearing a heavy jacket with lots of layers that you want to shed out. Or maybe you are a business owner and you want to invest on your staff well-being. If any of this resonates with you, then this is the podcast for you, where we're going to be interviewing again Sylvie, who is a RTT therapist, which is Rapid Transformational Therapy. And she's going to talk to us about how a session happens step by step, and also what are the benefits of RTT, how does it work exactly on the subconscious, and what outcomes do people normally experience. Hi, my name is Bruno de Jong, and welcome to the Wellness Shift podcast, where we interview other service providers, we interview sometimes our clients, we also interview some of our therapists to bring some information to you about how can you live a healthier life, both from a mind perspective, but also for the body perspective. I hope you will enjoy. This episode is sponsored by Mousetrapper, one of the lead ergonomic mouse companies in Europe. Most of us spend hours at a computer, often in static positions our bodies aren't built for. That's why so many people feel pain in the neck, shoulders, and arms, often caused by one simple thing: reaching out to the side for a traditional mouse. Mousetrapper solves this by placing the mouse centrally in front of the keyboard. This keeps your arms close, your shoulders aligned, and your posture neutral, reducing the muscle strain that leads to repetitive injuries. Instead of moving a mouse across the desk, you control everything with the mesh-like control pad or smooth carbon fiber roller bar. Both allow precise, low-effort movement using small, relaxed motions, which is exactly what good ergonomics encourages. They design and manufacture Mousetrapper in Sweden with a focus on long product life and sustainability. Durable products mean less waste and fewer replacements over time. If you never tried a center mouse before, the difference is immediate. That's why they offer a free 14-day trial so you can feel the improvement for yourself. Fight the pain, support healthy posture, experience Mousetrapper. So Sylvie, welcome back to the Wellness Shift podcast.
Yes.
So tell
Thank
all
you for
the
having me
listeners.
again.
Oh, it's lovely to have you again. So tell all our guests, or everybody who's listening, who are you and what do you do and what's RTT?
Okay, so I am an RTT therapist. RTT stands for Rapid Transformational Therapy, which is a beautiful therapy. It's been developed by an English woman called Marisa Peer, and who basically took the best of all therapies that are available nowadays. So there's some CBT, there's inner child work, there's neuroscience, there's talk therapy, that she took the best of everything, molded it into a rapid transformational therapy. So in 1, 2, 3 sessions, you have amazing results. It's done under hypnosis, which is a very relaxed state, where we basically go to the root cause of the issue that the person has in their lives that they want to cure. And it's very effective. And the reason why I started doing these therapies is because I had a therapy done on myself. That was my first encounter with RTT, and it's been pretty phenomenal. So yeah, that's why I studied it, because I thought if we can make this world a better place, you have to start with one person at a time. It's been an amazing journey since.
And then what does RTT can help with?
RTT can help with a whole array of issues: depression, addiction, lack of self-confidence, perfectionism, procrastination, difficulties in relationships, fear of flying, phobias, OCD, you name it. You know, some people feel that they are stuck at a certain point in their life. They feel that they could do better, but they don't understand why. And a lot of times there's just wrong subconscious beliefs that are just sitting under the surface, often stemming from childhood, difficult traumatic experiences from childhood that are not really dealt with, are not been discussed, that are not been understood by a more adult mind, because all these things in childhood, you can have something happening to you at 5 years old. You know, you've been bullied, for example, and then you take the belief with you that you are broken. And you never question the bully, because you had a mind of 5 years old. You've never discussed it. You took it with you. And it kind of all the time tells you that little voice, you're not good enough. You're broken.
Hmm.
You're faulty. There's something wrong with you. And so that's what's so beautiful about the hypnosis and the RTT, is that it goes to the root cause. It's not
Mm.
like in medicine, you have a headache, you take a pill to take your headache away. It's actually giving you a glass of water because you're probably having a headache because you're dehydrated. So it's going to understand where it comes from, having a proper look at it from all angles with the help of a therapist, give it another meaning or a different meaning, or give it a meaning. You can't really give meaning to abuse, but you kind of understand it, digest it. And then, so part of RTT is that after the session, which is, I always tell my clients, it's half of the work, is that you then go home and you listen to a recording for 21 days. And that recording is actually installing new beliefs. So let's say that you're single since 20 years and you're really suffering from that. We go and see the root cause. The root cause is that because of events in the past, you feel you're not lovable and you're actually unworthy of love. We're going to change that. And then we're going to listen to it that you're lovable and that you're a beautiful person for 21 days. We're also going to use visualization techniques. You see yourself with a beautiful partner, and all of a sudden you you give to this mind of yours things that, because you hear it so many times, it becomes familiar. You kind of adopt it, you know? Yes, I am lovable. Yes, I am maybe not a supermodel, but I am okay. And I love myself. And then you dare in the street talk to someone and maybe meet your life partner because you're worthy of it. And so it's very, very powerful, the different modalities with what RTT offers.
It sounds like it's about rewriting that program that you have in your head. And a lot of the time, like you said, you heard something when you're 5 years old and then you took that as a given. And a lot of the time that's a misunderstanding,
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
right?
I've been depressed for most of my life and I didn't realize, but subconsciously, there was something that happened when I was 8, 9 years old. It was my fault. It's
Ah,
been my fault the whole of my life. And by doing this RTT session, the RTT therapist said, "But it's not your fault." And I mean, I can't tell you how much weight was lifted from my shoulders because yes, it wasn't my fault. So it's a very minor thing, but when you don't go and treat whatever is sitting there in your subconscious, it's gonna yell louder and louder. Now, either you continue pushing it away, and often you get migraines, you get back pain, you get physical ailments, or you go into addiction because you don't want to feel that pain because it hurts too much. So what do? You have your magic cigarette, you have your alcohol, because then I feel great, you know?
yeah, yeah.
So it's very, very important to go and see a little bit what's just sitting under there. And I call it actually cleaning out the skeletons out of the closet because you pull with you a lot of weight. You have a heavy coat with loads of weights. All these little things that you took with you from the past that you don't even aware about because you don't think about it and you don't want to think about it, but you carry it with you and it impacts every part of your life,
Everything.
your relationships, your feeling about yourself, your career, your decisions about your life. Even somebody who was beaten by their dad, for example, they will in the end often attract a partner that is abusive.
Yeah.
It's so sad. And that's why, again, I think it's super important to do this kind of work because it's only beneficial. You learn more about yourself. You understand better your past. You get rid of wrong beliefs
Hmm.
because you have now an adult mind and you understand already so much more. And by looking at all these skeletons in the closet, you deal with them, you can throw them in the bin. And then And only then you get out of survival mode and you start
Mm-hmm.
looking, you are able to look at the future. And
Yeah.
it's
And
funny,
then you,
Bruno, in the session, one of the questions I ask is, if I had the magic wand, what do you want? If we could take away all your issues, what do you want? A lot of people look at me with eyes like this and like, oh, they have never thought of that.
yeah.
Because life is so hard and is just keeping it all together that people are in
Mhm.
survival mode.
So tell me what happens during a session. You said that one of the questions you asked in the session is that. So what exactly happens on a session, step by step?
Well, we have a little bit of preparation for the session. So I would have a discovery call, which is free,
Mm.
where the client starts to have a feel of who you are and how you work. Maybe there's no fit. So there's a little bit of a chat, questions are asked, and the client knows very well what's coming. So what's coming next is that I send an intake form with questions, with the magic wand question as well.
Mhm.
So I give some time to the client to think about this, and then they send it back to me. And then we do 1 hour of call, often, with video, so we see each other, where we discuss this. We discuss childhood, we discuss generally what the issue is, how life would look like without the issue, and if they have any fear about the session, any questions about the session. So we get all that out of the way, and then we do the session. And in this session, I would ask the client under hypnosis to go to 3, 4 events in their lives in the past, can be very far in the past or just recently, that caused this issue. And it's beautiful because the reason why we do hypnosis is the mind goes directly there. The conscious mind has a lot of explanations, but the subconscious mind doesn't do all the chit chat, goes to where you have to go. So we discuss these 3 events, look at it from all angles, go and understand what belief you took with you from those 3, 4 events. And then we go and interrupt and reframe. We're gonna stop this belief, and that's the session. 2 hours, 2 hours and a half, more or less. And then I give the client a recording that he will listen to for 21 days,
Mm.
often in the morning, because upon awakening, your mind is very open and absorbent, or in the evening, just before going to bed, because similarly, it's an important moment. And then we're going to rewire the brain with new beliefs. We interrupted the old beliefs. We rewire for new beliefs and better thinking patterns.
Yeah.
And then we have another call just to check how you are, how life is, and yeah, just see how much change you feel.
And then what kind of shifts do you clients report back to you after a session?
It depends. Every person is different, right? Every problem, every
Mhm.
issue is different as well. But some people, I think if you would have taken a picture of me before my session and after my session, I felt so much lighter. So there was an instant
Mhm.
change. I felt instantly, wow, this has been effing phenomenal. For some people, it's gradual. They listen to the recording. And the recording is interesting because you kind of plant little seeds, right? And I
Mhm.
have this friend actually that I did a session on, and she's single for a long time. And, she's been listening to the recording for 21 days. And then one day she gets, and in the recording, at some point, I say, you visualize this beautiful man. And she calls me recently. She said, you know what? I really need to find someone. And I think I did. But so, just saying it for 21 days, you kind of create an opportunity and the possibility, right?
Yeah. You
So,
you you will wire your mind to notice
yes,
the things that you weren't noticing before because you were
yes,
so focused on, or you were being led by your subconscious. Your subconscious was
yes,
basically driving that car,
yes.
and he said, "Only pay attention to this. That doesn't matter because that's unsafe, or I don't know what's that about. I'm
Yeah.
gonna stick to what
To
I
what I know.
know, even if it's
Yes,
hurtful.
yes,
Even if it's hurtful, I'm just gonna stay here because I know what to expect from it."
yes.
But
And
then once you break
absolutely.
that,
Yeah. And so the shifts are that people all of a sudden feel lighter, see things they didn't see before. So even if sometimes they relapse, it's fine because they see it, right?
Mm.
And so more energy, more lightness, and also a little bit more of a, getting out of that survival mode and occasionally and even ideally fully focusing towards, today and the future.
Yeah.
Because if you can invest in a better career and better relationships,
Mm.
in more joy generally, in feeling more confidence within yourself, more love, you love yourself more
Yeah.
compassionate towards yourself, well, then your future is potentially becoming better.
Yeah. So
Mm.
why do these unresolved experiences or emotions they stay stored in the subconscious?
You know, you can't heal what you don't feel, right? So if you have something that's painful, a very sad, traumatic experience from the past, you're going to push it away. You don't want
Mm.
to feel it. You're going to drink it away. You're going to shop it away. You're going to eat it away. There's plenty of reasons how to not feel it. And you can compare it with somebody who in the class, lifts the finger, wants to say something, but you ignore. You ignore. At
Mm.
the end, you will have a full class yelling, hey, there's a problem here, you know?
Mhm.
So you need to go and feel it. You need to go and see it. You need to go and understand it. You need to go and ideally change it. So you need to have the will to go where it hurts,
Yeah. And
because
I
then you
think
can give it different meaning.
for a lot of people this is probably the tricky bit because I think a lot of people, unless they hit absolute rock bottom,
Yes.
they sort of just stay in this level where I'm coping.
Yes.
So they don't do anything because they're not suffering that much that warrants them to look for help and look at it themselves.
Yes. But it's tough. It's tough
Yeah,
to go where the pain is. It hurts. It
yeah.
hurts. And what you say is very true, because a lot of people do therapy because they
Mhm,
hit rock bottom.
mhm. Yeah.
But I think everybody can benefit from doing some work before you hit
Mm.
rock bottom. And in order to never hit rock bottom, but go, I think every human being has an incredible potential.
Oh,
Unfortunately, not
yeah.
everybody has equal chances.
Yeah, yeah. Or they don't the subconscious is just driving the car so hard, they're missing it.
Yeah.
They're missing the
Yes. Yes.
So once someone has done this work with you, they've had 1, 2 sessions, they've healed the past, let's say, what's the next step?
Well, I started studying this beautiful positive psychology, which is for me the perfect way to accompany the client who has healed the past, cleaned some skeletons out of the closet, is feeling lighter and more vibrant, is actually feeling that they are happy to look at the future, is to accompany them. And so this positive psychology really called my name because it looks at positive emotions, joy, kindness, and it also helps you create, this character strength, like optimism.
Mm,
Not everybody is born an optimism, but you can train your mind to become an optimist, or at least look in an optimistic way to what life throws at you. Life throws a difficult situation to everybody. Nobody is safe from that, but is creating more resilience, having, something that you can take with you, tools. We give you tools to deal with setbacks. And the better you deal with setbacks, the more positive emotions you have, the better you can deal with setbacks. It's all a proper vicious circle, right? So I
mhm,
studied just now that if you have three groups, you give to one group of people, you ask them to think positive emotions, positive things, viewing positive images, thinking positive things. Okay. The second group, neutral, nothing. And the third group, you make them look at the news, which is very
Mhm.
sad. Think about sadness, about war, about negative emotions. And then they give these three groups a challenge, not a big challenge, you have to sort this problem out. Well, the group that was presented with positive emotions will be way more creative, way quicker in problem solving, way more positive, and will do that all way quicker time wise than the second and the third group. So it's
Mm.
just very interesting to see that you can yourself, with the right help, with a coach, make your life better. Because your life is
Mm.
as it is. You can obviously bring changes to your life, but already changing the glasses, changing the lens through which you look at your life can have an amazing influence
Mm.
on it.
So is this a separate work that you do after people do
Yes,
art?
because I thought I can as well help people look at the future. I help them heal the past. But for
Mhm.
those who want, obviously it's very free, but for those who want, I can give you some tools to now really look at the future, because we talked about
Mhm.
the magic wand. If we sort out the issue, what do you want for your life? And I can then accompany them to get to a happier, more joyful life, better relationships, a better career, a better relationship
Mhm.
with parents, with the children, just better quality of life.
Yeah. That's I think is fascinating, all this work that you're doing at the
Mm,
moment. And people, they can get quite addicted to negative thinking, right? And
it's human nature. Our mind
yeah.
is like that. It's
Yeah.
proven scientifically. We have a negativity bias, a negativity hook.
Mhm.
So if you don't train your mind to
Mhm.
not hook onto negative things, you are a ship that's like without direction.
Yeah.
It's scientifically proven that when you present a good news to a person and you present a bad news to a person, that person will look at the good news and say, "Oh, well, nice." And then he will look at the bad news and he will say, "Oh my God, this is really bad." And he will go, the mind will spiral down.
Mm.
And if you can calculate the happiness factor that they have before the good news and the bad news, it would be higher than after being presented with the good news and the bad news.
Yeah.
Because of this negativity hook, this negativity bias, where our minds naturally go to. But we are very intelligent people, so we can do something about it.
Yeah.
Obviously, it needs effort, daily effort, but I believe it's so worth it.
Yeah. Definitely. So tell me about the different directions you are developing RTT at the moment.
Well, I'm finishing my coaching course, which is amazing because I'm actually teaching myself plenty of things. I love it. But what I feel, so I have worked with all kinds of people, all kinds of issues, and I find an incredible satisfaction with helping young people. Young people have their lives in front of them, you know. Young people also inherited of a very sad world, a polluted world, a world with our phones, with the internet, with news, I mean, it's tough. Mental health
Yeah.
is hard. And also these children have often had traumatic childhood experiences, right? And so being able to help them again, change
Mm.
the narrative of what they went through, love themselves more, see things they didn't see before, and then potentially also coach them a little bit. I think it's beautiful work
Wow.
because, I mean, I had my RTT session done after my 50s. Gosh, really wish I had had it before because I wouldn't
Yeah.
have been that depressed. I would maybe not been out of, I would have had a different life.
But then you wouldn't be where you are now.
Yes, and I do believe as well in the divine timing. But if a young person has the opportunity to do some
Yeah.
work, to see something,
Really.
you give them more tools. You give them more
Absolutely.
chances to navigate life.
Yeah. Yeah. So what's the youngest you would say someone can be to do RTT?
Oh, that's a good question. Never really thought of that. Well, the youngest people I had was 18.
Yeah.
18-year-old. I don't know if I should probably look into legislation and I can answer that, but yeah, 18 for me at least.
Yeah.
Because I think under 18, you probably need some help. Or
Yeah.
you need
You
the
need the
agreement
parents
with the
sitting next to
parents,
you.
which is another ball game.
Let's not go there.
Exactly. So I think I would probably just now thinking on the spot, I would probably stick to
Yeah.
young adults from
Yeah.
18 years old. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's often I feel, well, the kids I had started to go off to uni, started to
Mhm.
leave the nest. And it's a very important moment because all of a sudden it's not your parents that you can blame because you are actually, yeah, it's true. You start living your life yourself, and you can become a better parent. Not all parents manage to be fantastic parents, and
Mhm.
you can yourself become a parent and parent yourself better and have a better voice in yourself. But having some help from a therapist, I
Mhm.
think is very beneficial. Um,
Yeah.
to give yourself to actually develop full potential, your full potential.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. And then we had a chat as well about offering RTT to companies and their employees. Tell me a little bit about that.
Yes, it's another very interesting venture, which is B2B, business to business. So I had the chance to meet a very nice lady in Austria who created a company called Spark. And what we do is we offer RTT, Rapid Transformational Therapy, to business people. So we would talk to businesses, companies that have a certain budget and that want to invest into their personnel, into the people they work with. And I think it's a phenomenal idea because these people heal themselves in a way, will feel lighter, will have better energy, will be probably more creative, will have better
Mhm.
ideas in the workplace, will be nicer teammates, the team spirit can be better. These people will be more confident in themselves. So maybe they will try something that they would have never tried before because they didn't have the confidence. Or they would raise their finger in a meeting and say, actually, I thought that. What do you think? The productivity would be higher. There will be less illnesses because people feel better. And I think it's just an incredible way to make the workplace a better place, more higher productivity, better team spirits,
Yeah.
happier people.
And I'm gonna say, so I know you are gonna have a session with Marcel, which is my business manager.
Yes. So you are
And
doing this. You are investing in
right,
your people, which
right.
is fantastic.
Because for me, I'm really strong believer in all this positivity and manifestation, and we're driving it, and we're pushing the business a certain direction, and we gotta have the mindset
Yeah.
is probably 80% of the work, because
Yes.
our mindset will dictate which actions we're going to take and which
Yes.
direction we're going to go. If we are taking decisions with a mindset of fear, we are going to
Yes.
make the wrong decisions. If
Yes.
we are making decisions with a mindset of love and growth, and we want to help and all this, then so and for me, this is why I said to you, work with Marcel, because I need her to be at her best.
Yeah.
And so I can only imagine, when you treat a whole company, imagine the impact that this can
Yes.
actually have on, if you believe, on an energetic level and all
Absolutely.
that. Because then it's not just two or three people maybe at the top that are really, is actually
Everyone.
everyone, or most of the people.
And you have a beautiful business in the wellness, really. You take care of people. So if you have people that are confident, that are vibrating high, that are positive, people will love to come to you because, well, they
Yeah,
do already. I love to come to you, but will feel this. You know, energy is you take it in and you can really make you take other people with you in your positive vibration. And
yeah,
so I strongly believe indeed investing in your employees, I think the visual example of the heavy coats. If you have a whole army of beautiful people, um, very good employees, but they all have a heavy coat on, and you investing in your people and they can all take that heavy coat off,
Mm.
well, as a whole, as a business, you raise your vibration and
Yeah,
you will be a better, better temple for all the people that come
exactly.
to raise their vibration.
Exactly. And then you attract the right customers, you
Yes.
attract the right employees, candidates coming through.
Yeah.
Because, I remember when a few years ago, I did a lot of wrong hiring because I was not in the right mindset and attracting the wrong people.
Well,
And now,
I think by having worked on yourself, and I know you did it a lot of different modalities, and we worked together as well, is that all this, all these subconscious traumas and problems and everything, when you deal with them, you create more space.
hmm
You create more mind space, you create more energy. So yes, you just make better decisions on all levels of your life. It's amazing.
yeah, yeah. And then tell me, what do you think is this? I think we talked a little bit about it already, but what do you think this mind body connection is? Why is that? Why is that so central to your work?
It's very central to my work because of my personal experience. So I had
Mm,
a divorce and I had a lot of back pain. And it went to a point where I thought I had fibromyalgia. All of my body was hurting all the time. I mean, and it's a vicious circle because your body hurts. You don't want to go out anymore. You don't feel like working out anymore because it just all hurts. And you have a smaller and smaller life. Okay.
hmm
And but my parents are doctors. So for my parents, there's always just a structural problem. There's always a very physical problem to a physical complaint, but there's also the mental aspect. People
hmm
migraines, for example, chronic migraines, and chronic is also a word because then it becomes more mental. But
Mm,
migraines is often, it has a mental origin. So I find it very important when there is this ease, when there is pain, when there is chronic pain, to look at the mental aspect as well and to look at what beliefs you have. And sometimes we have this beautiful technique where we look at the role that the physical ailment has for that person. And for me, for example, there was a bit of punishment. I needed to have pain
mm,
because in my head I caused pain somewhere else. It's very interesting. So I believe with people who have chronic pains, very important to look into the mind body connection because a lot of people don't want to feel certain things. So what do? And I'm from the generation of the repressors. I didn't want to feel either. So what did I do? I suck it up, as we say, and you just store it somewhere. So everybody has different ways of coping. Some of them go into addiction. Some of them go into physical pain. So the mind body connection, I don't even call it a mind body connection. I think the mind and the body are the same. It's
mm,
just one system. It's completely linked with fascia, it's the same. So
mm.
you can't treat the body as something separate from the mind.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
one genius cooperating, constantly messaging kind of center that you need to heal and see it as a whole.
yeah,
So
definitely.
for me in my work, because of my personal experience, it's one of the things I look out for. And when I hear
hmm
chronic, when I certain diseases in any case are a little bit more like fibromyalgia, back pain. Back pain
Mm.
is a lack of support in the end.
Mm.
There is something to explore more on the mind side than what most doctors would just go and look at the body. And I
Yeah,
know you, Bruno, with your work, you know that too, that there is a
mm,
very, very big mental aspect to any physical ailment.
yeah, absolutely. And we see a lot of people who come in for treatment and then they have one and then they give them the exercises and then they come back and it's the same. And then you ask, have you done the exercise? No. Okay, and then we do it again. And then, that might go on for 2, 3 sessions. And then you realize, and then they vanish because they self-sabotage.
Yeah.
And then usually they vanish when we sort of put them against the wall,
Yes.
saying like, come on, you're 40, you're in pain. How's it gonna look when you're 30 or when you're 70, another 30
Yep.
years?
Yeah.
And then they go, but that scares them. And then they just sabotage a little bit more and then they just quit physio.
And you know as well as me that self-sabotage is very intrinsically really thinking you're not good enough and kind
Mm-hmm.
of already sabotaging what you actually could do, but not believing in it. So that's again a
Yeah.
mental
Yeah.
aspect to the physical ailment.
Yeah.
And knowing this for you, you are able to kind of touch upon that as well.
Yeah, exactly. And then, so I don't feel, I think in the past when people would vanish, I would go, I've done something wrong. I'm not good physio.
Yeah,
But
but
these
you
days I
are
can actually
clever in
say,
that. Yes.
I can see these, well, they're not ready. So they'll come back in 6 months' time, maybe, or they'll land somewhere else eventually, hopefully.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's where we could offer RTT. You know,
Yeah.
that's where indeed you could say, there's an offer of, is there on the mental side, is there something we
Yeah.
can do? Is there
Absolutely.
trauma? Is there, are you facing difficulties in your personal life,
Hmm.
which
Yeah.
doctors normally don't do?
No, no, no. Of course
No,
not. Yeah. So, if there's one thing you'd love for people to understand about RTT, what would it be?
I think it's just a beautiful therapy that if you have a, a growth minded way of thinking, you want to grow, it's a beautiful way of doing it. It's short. You
Hmm.
don't have to go for years onto therapy. Already in a session, half of it is painful, but the second half is actually really empowering. So it's not that hard. So I think it's just something to explore. If you want
Mm-hmm.
to feel better, have better relationships, have a better career, feel purpose in this hard life. We live in hard circumstances.
Mm.
Life is tough on this planet nowadays. RTT is a very good way of starting to explore. So that's what I
Mm.
would say to people. Give it a try.
Yeah.
Because and it's what I use on my Instagram page. You are the biggest project you will ever work on. You are. And you are
Yeah.
so worth it, you know?
Yeah.
And if the reward at the end is feeling better and finding more joy, why not? Why not give it a
Can
try?
only win.
Well,
Can
yes,
only,
we go for
right?
a win. Yeah.
Yeah. Can only
Yeah.
win. So, what kind of future do you hope to help create through this work?
Well, I find incredible purpose by doing this work. I
Mm.
get goosebumps during sessions. I feel good about myself. I think if you can heal one person at a time, I would love to be able to live a long time. And I would love to do this work until till I'm very old and I can still do it because it's one at a time. You heal
Mm-hmm.
one person, that person will be better, will be a better friend, a better husband, a better wife, a better partner, a better, and I would love, I am a bit like John Lennon. I'm dreaming. I imagine a planet where there's no war and where everybody takes care of each other. It's one
Mm-hmm.
at a time.
Yeah.
Yes, I would love to make this world a better place for
Yeah.
everyone.
And you said something that is so true. If you improve someone's life, the ramifications of that, because all the relationships that they have, they will improve as well because they will present themselves better. They will look after people better.
There's a ripple effect. I
It's
am
a
definitely a
massive.
better person than before. My parents
Yeah.
tell it, my sisters tell me, I thought already I was a good person, but clearly not. This is a joke. But no, there's a ripple effect. When you have more energy, when you're more in peace with yourself, you are able to look at others, which is
Hmm.
also very rewarding. So,
Yeah.
everybody benefits from you working on yourself a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah. Brilliant. Sylvie, it's been a pleasure to have you back in the
Thank you, Bruno.
podcast. Thank you so
Yes,
much for sharing your thoughts and your experience. I hope that anyone who's listening feels inspired by the work that you're doing. And we're going to drop some links on the description for people to get in touch if they want to and just have a discovery call if they want to, right? You said that you do a discovery
Exactly. If
call.
we
It
just
doesn't cost anything. Just
have
have
a
a
chat.
chat.
Yeah.
Exactly. And see
And
what happens.
we have a fit. Yes. And I thank you for having confidence in me and giving this opportunity. We are long-term friends actually, and I'm happy
Exactly.
a different way of continuing our relationship. So thank
Definitely. Yeah. Well, and I've been through RTT
you.
and I know it works because it worked for me
Mm.
back. That was what, 6 months ago, maybe more.
It's a little bit more,
And
yeah. Once we
yeah, and
work.
I still listen to the recording.
I
It's
still
a
do
great
listen to
way.
my
Yeah,
recording.
it's a great
Yeah,
way to start. For I most of the time is to start the day
yeah. To
because it
set the
just
tone.
sets me up.
Yeah.
It sets the tone. And I saw
Positivity.
something. Yeah, and I saw something really really good on Mel Robbins' podcast.
She's
She was
amazing.
saying that your your subconscious is already setting up the programming.
Yes.
So why not you
Working
set
on
up the
the subconscious.
programming yourself and make sure that you dictate how you want it to go rather than let your old
Letting it
programming
happen. We're
take
way
over.
more
Right.
powerful. We're way more powerful than we think. We just need to focus on the right things.
Yeah.
And that's why
Yeah.
you need to get out of survival mode to be able to focus on the right things.
Yeah. Exactly.
Thank you so much.
Awesome. Thank you so much for everyone listening. I hope to see you all very soon. Take care.
Thank you.